Before I come to Green Pastures, it was hell.
I've done 13 years in the last 15 years in prison.
Robbing, hurting people, taking drugs, sleeping on the streets.
I've got bad anger issues, suffering with depression.
Came from a life of addiction, over double figures in prison.
And lucky enough, I seen Darren and he asked me to come to Green Pastures. My life now is amazing. I get to come to work here and I get to go and see my family. I can't ask for anything better.
Staff have helped me loads.
We don't know what to do when we come out of prison, we don't know where to go, and we end up back in the lives that we've came from. But this place gives the people a chance of belonging, you know, and being a part of something, being a part of a family.
Oh, it's heaven.
I guess growing up, I always had an empathy, I think, for human suffering. It would bother me when I saw people hurt, you know, without. And then it was really when I joined the Royal Marines. I guess I was looking and trying to find answers for life, what it's all about, and maybe wanted to better improve myself. So it's whilst in the Marines, I guess my journey started. I was shot through both legs, and it was at that point I found my faith. And that led to me working on the streets at various places around the world. I don't know, I just found that I had a heart, an affiliation or a desire to help those that didn't have much or didn't have a way out. This building was a building that I'd known for many, many years. It had become very notorious. Horrible stories about it. When we first went into the building, the rooms were smelt of death. There was blood on the walls, and every room had a story, and you could sense who was there. Someone's child was there, someone's father was there, and it was a place which lacked hope. It was almost like the soul was sucked out of the place. Everything about this building, from the moment you walked into it, to the counter that looked like a police station, through the alarm system, through the metal on the doors, everything about the building said, "We don't believe in you," or created an atmosphere of oppression. And if you treat people like they're animals, they'll behave like animals. So our first job, so to speak, was to humanize the building, to take off all of those barriers between us and the residents. You know, anything like that that didn't make it feel like a home. Our strength is to make a building feel like a home. When you walk through that door, you feel valued. That's the beginning of change, and that's what we had to do with this building.
I've got bad anger issues, suffering with depression. So I had all that to deal with a clear head, not being on drugs, using drugs to mask it up. So it took a while. I was snapping a lot, I was getting wound up, letting people wind me up, winding myself up. But the staff have helped me loads, like loads. They sit down and they talk to you, they see when you're down or upset and they ask you questions, how are we gonna sort it out, what's the problem. They help you out loads, actually care, do you know what I mean? Actually care. Like, even when they first come in, they do a life plan of your whole story, everyone's individual story, but they actually act on it.
Before I come to Green Pastures, it was hell. Going out, robbing, hurting people, taking drugs, sleeping on the streets. Ever since a young age, watching my mum be beaten, running off as a kid, I started sniffing glue gas and petrol at the age of 8, 9 years of age. Running off from home for 2-3 weeks on end. And through the years I've ended up taking different drugs.
I came from a life of addiction. I did over double figures in prison. Spent a lot of my younger years from 17 to 27 in and out of prison, not being out very long. Went to a Green Pastures partner, Lighthouse Homes, in 2014, and my journey basically started from there. I went to various rehabs across the country and ended up surrendering my life to God, and then it became a journey, and to where last October Green Pastures gave me a job.
The people that come here are men, and in other projects it's women, but we chose men for this project. These are men primarily over the age of 25 who have become homeless. It's wrong to think that homelessness is all about drug addiction. It's not. The speed that someone can become homeless, from having a full-time job, having a wife and kids, to being on the streets begging, is frightening. So we do have guys that come to us who have become homeless. They may have been kicked out of previous projects. They may have come from prison. They may have been struggling with drugs. They may have come from the mental health unit. They may have just lost their way in life. We've had architects, we've had people with degrees that have come through our doors. This project, this home, creates a level playing field, I guess. It doesn't matter what your background, it doesn't matter where you come from. They all believe that everyone's got a future, and we treat them all the same, that everyone should have hope and an opportunity to change their lives.
I've got a long history of drug addiction, a big criminal record behind me, spent time in prison through my addiction and through crimes that I committed because of my addiction. Once I was in a place of safety, I surrendered everything to Jesus. I tried so many years to break free from addiction and crime, and I couldn't do it, and I just wasn't strong enough to do it on my own, so I surrendered everything. I felt like I'd been released, so I was able to go through a period of recovery and a period of stability, really, because that's something I'd never had. And then I was raised up to trainee member of staff for about 2 or 3 months. That happened. I oversee now, one of my daily tasks is overseeing all the referrals that we get from the prison, so I meet them at first hand. So I will assess them, and if that's successful, on their release date, we will go and pick them up and bring them straight here. And we just give them that daily support to break the cycle of offending that they've had for so many years, and if it's ingrained in them, they struggle to get out of that cycle.
I was crying my eyes out when I seen Darren, and I seen him the day before I'd seen Darren tried committing suicide. And I was speaking to Darren, telling Darren about it, and then he said, right, you're coming in here. And then that was it, I moved in. My life now is amazing. I get to come to work here, and I get to go and see my family. I can't ask for anything better. Basically, we get antique furniture, restore them, and then sell them on.
This project opened up in Green Pastures just over a year ago, and it's the antique restoration project. We offer residents here to come in and try and train to restore antique furniture. We get old pieces of furniture and then we store them and we sell these on around the UK.
Like Dave said to me, the way we see it is when we get an old piece of furniture, it's your life when you first come here. You're all broken, you're all down and out. You restore that into something beautiful, what you're doing with your life. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good. It gives me something to do, it gives me something to focus on. I enjoy it, I love it.
Well, the house is a home to me. It's a home, it's a place of safety, a place of refreshment. It's a place of comfort, strengthening and empowering men. And it's just got an amazing sense of family. We share meals together, chat together. We meet for devotion daily. We have good facilities. We've got 28 beds, so we can accommodate 28 guys. We've got a lovely garden. It didn't look like that originally. It was all overgrown, but the guys work on the garden now. This is a place of total peace for the guys. Often when they come here, they're in a state of either trauma or massive change. They've experienced a lot of loss and heartache. And when they come here, it's a real peaceful setting.
It gives people hope. It gives people a meaning for living, really. Like someone like myself has experienced that, where we don't know what to do when we come out of prison, we don't know where to go, and we end up back in the lives that we've came from. But this place gives the people a chance of belonging, you know, and being a part of something, being a part of a family, you know, because Green Pastures, we are a family, basically.
Many of our guys have come from dysfunctional families. They don't know what a home's like. They've had fathers or mothers treat them like dirt. That's how they perceive themselves. But if we can change that through our building feels, how it looks, the culture that we set, I don't care where they've come from, what they've done in life. This is a place of change, of hope for them, and we give them our best.